Well, boys, here we are, part 4 on Let's Build a Radio. Well, I said the other day on the last video, I said that I couldn't really think about bringing this thing any further than what it is. Well, I play with it today, and I'm trying to figure out a way that I could possibly get rid of the squeal, really bad squealing that was going on this thing, and I was trying to figure out where that squeal was actually coming from. And I figured out what it was. There was a capacitor in the audio circuit over here that was causing that squeal. The squeal wasn't actually coming from the first 2N 2222. Not coming from this circuit side of it all. It was coming actually from this side, and really hard to even control it. So what I ended up doing, I'll get my pen and I'll get my paper. So this is the new schematic of the radio. Should have made it smaller. So still got the switch, still got all this. On the last video I made a little bit of a boo-boo on this capacitor. This says 0.33 paper, roll paper, whatever you want to call it, paper capacitor, and it goes between the collector and DC power. It's supposed to go on this side of the RFC, not this side. I had it over here, it was actually supposed to be on this side. And another change I made was on the first audio amplifier right here. And what's missing on this one, I had a 100k resistor put here. That was causing a lot, like most of the squeal was between the base and the collector. And what I ended up doing, I removed this resistor altogether, squeal completely gone, 100% gone. And so what I ended up doing, I put a 0.1 microfarad capacitor between the base and the collector here, and that helped an awful lot, this one change. And so I did that, and then the other change I did, I put in the second audio amplifier, which is down here. This is the first audio amp, this is the second audio amp. I just take the audio from this one, dump it into this one, and this one dumps into the transformer, which goes to the headphone jack out to my headphones, which this one. Ended up doing here was install another 0.1 mylar capacitor between the base and the emitter on the third transistor here on the second audio amp, and that made another big difference on audio. So I made a couple little notes here. So I installed 0.33 paper capacitor between the BCC and collector before the RFC choke. For Q2, resistance between the base and the collector of Q2 increases squeal level. Remove and insert a 0.1 mylar capacitor in its place. So you remove the resistor, put a capacitor there instead. And for Q3, install a 0.1 mylar capacitor between the base and emitter Q3. This will also reduce squeal level. Actually, I got I'm listening to an AM band there now. I'm listening to 800 kilohertz VOWR here in St. John's. It's got a nice tone to it actually as it sits now. And I'm going to try and do away with this switch. I'm not sure yet, but I might do away with this switch altogether and just go with the full coil. And the other thing that I've noticed with this one, I could take my outside antenna and dump it into the antenna right here onto the coil. But where these ground points are, this is not, I figured out that if I added a ground, like a ground to this, the whole radio just goes cracked with squealing in. So this ground is battery ground, DC ground. All these points are just DC ground all the way across. It's not ground, it's DC ground. Radio is much more stable. And if you want to drag your frequency down, right now it's sitting at 800 kilohertz. Well, you can put a ferrite rod in your coil. You can adjust your rod and you can bring up or down your frequency. with your rod, just to move it up or down. So keep that in mind. And also for your 10K variable, this just how it's working now, just adjust this variable resistor for strongest signal and audio level. So you're just tuning your capacitor, you're tuning this one, and you're gonna kind of low, kind of high, kind of like you gotta hit this like in between. So there is a little, I guess a tone or heterodyne signal, whatever you want to call it, in like riding over the signal, like a regenerative signal. You know what a regen sounds like. Well, basically, you tune this to get dead center between the 2 points. So the signal you're looking for is kind of like, I'll go like that, like that's the wave you'll hear, and then you make a dip. So this dip is where your signal is. All right. So tune it for this dip, and then adjust. Like you'll work like a BFO basically, and you beat your incoming signal so it's dead on frequency. There's a little dip here, and then you adjust this resistor for best signal and audio level. So that's what I've come up with, and I'm gonna do a little demonstration of the audio for you. I'm gonna put the headphones up to the camera. Have you listen? Listen really hard now. It's there. I'm not sure you can hear that or not. Hopefully you could. But that's 800 kilohertz. So I've got a few ferrite rods that I've collected over the years. Right now I've only got 3. I got a couple small ones, but a couple of these longer ones. And of course, if you take your ferrite rod, go anywhere near your coil, and your frequency changes. And I'll just demonstrate that. I'll put the headphones up to the microphone here again, just so you can hear that change. So I'm going to put the ferrite inside the coil. So there you go. So you can adjust your frequency with that, and you just tune your tuning capacitor here. So you beat it against the incoming signal, and you adjust your variable for your best tone, best signal. So I think we have a working radio here now. This is actually pretty cool. So now I can take what we've learned from this radio, and now we can build this into something much, much smaller, I'm thinking. So we take this whole circuit, and now we can probably take this whole thing and build it into a little small enclosure. Maybe a plastic enclosure. Maybe into a piece of tin. Hey, who knows? And I could probably, I'm curious if I can run this down to 1.5 volt, because if it could, we can just use a 1.5 volt battery instead of a 9 volt that I'm using here. We can just use 1.5 to run the whole circuit. So that's the little update here today. I had a couple people commenting on this radio, and I gotta say thank you to everybody that just give me some nice comments on it, and you're really enjoying these videos, especially building this thing. I do appreciate it. And have one person message me. Let me bring up let me see, ask me about the RFC coil. Let's see. I'm just going to bring up the video right quick. And 1 second. Hang tight there, guys. Hang her tight. Bringing it up. Okay. This is from Barry. Mr. Barry, right there. 2 days ago. Well, Barry, I should be shot for taking so long to reply to you. He says, hello again. Nice to see that you are making another homemade radio. Could you make a homemade RFC for this radio, and how many turns would it need? And the audio transformer, what's the best one to have in ohms? How many ohms is yours? Mine, this one over here is, I think, what did I measure it? I think it's 700 or 650 ohms to 8 ohms. So 750 ohms, like that's actually on your ohm meter. On your ohm meter, I think it's like 700 ohms, 750 ohms on one side. And then you got, I think it's like 6 or 7 ohms on the other side. So that's the ohmage of your transformer. And your RFC, I mean, I suppose you could wind one. You need an awful lot of wire, I would think. But, you know, anything's possible, I suppose. Suppose you can build one. And let me see. Then we have another comment. Let me see. I should have put all these comments together actually before I start the video, but hey. So we have another question from Barry. Mr. Barry, right here. And he's asking, hello, I said, I'm looking at your video part 2. You got the RFC and 1.1 capacitor underside of the board. The 0.33 UF capacitor is next to the 0.1. Video dyne 22.05, is that right? And it goes to the coupling. Great videos. Thank you for explaining this radio. Keep at it. Well, I'm keeping at it. We're still here. So, that's the RFC. The capacitor, I'm pretty sure you're referring to, is this one. This one here. This one is going straight across the RFC. And then we had a 0.33, which was this one here. Let's see if I can bring it up a bit. That was that one. I've got that one there now disconnected. And what I have there now is a ceramic capacitor in its place. It's still there in the board, but it's not hooked up. So I got a 0.1 ceramic capacitor put there on that one there now. That 0.33, that's the one that goes to the goes between the emitter and the switch. That's what this one here is for. So I hope that answers a couple of questions there. Again, that's our main transistor. That's Q1. Let's bring over schematic again. That there's Q1, which is that transistor. Then we've got Q2, which is this fella right here. He's sitting right here. Then I got Q3, which is this guy here, and he's sitting here. I got capacitors on the bottom, but it's just, you know, sick of drilling 100 million holes in the board. That's got something mounted underneath, but all these capacitors, got one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 different capacitors here. Well, 10 suppose you want to count that one. One variable, 6 position switch. So, anyway, hope that is of use to you. Radio has a tiny bit of drift every now and again if you're, you know, beating it up or anything, you know, banging the board at all. Just readjust your tuning capacitor. 0 beat it to the signal, and then just use this one to clear it up. And there you go. So, tuning capacitor, 6 position switch, variable resistor, or potentiometer, and headphone jack, 9-volt battery, which I'm going to see if I can eliminate, and down a loading coil. So we're gonna, that's the other thing I want to do. I want to change this. I want to make this smaller. see if we can change this from the AM band to the shortwave band. Right now it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I haven't tried it on shortwave yet, but before I change it to coil, I'll do another video later on today or tonight and see how well it picks up shortwave as is. Still got the band switch. I'll let you know how that works out. I'll do up another video on the shortwave, just see how well it works. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to rebuild this whole circuit into another case, into another enclosure. I'm going to leave this one as is. I'm going to build another one and see just how compressed we can make this thing. See how small we can make this circuit. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for the thumbs up and all the comments. I read all of them, and I really do appreciate it. Barry says, cheers, you're doing a brilliant job making these videos and homemade radios. I do appreciate that very much. So, actually doing pretty good on these videos. I'm just going through the views on them, and I'm actually doing pretty good on them. 289 views on part 3, 947 views on part 1, or part 2 I should say, and 262 views on part 1. And then the video on the thing, 3.2, 3,200 views, 50 thumbs up, big boys. That's like, I really appreciate that. And you got this one, 1,400 views. It's on the 5 megahertz regenerative receiver. 47 thumbs up, like buzz, like I really do appreciate it. Anyway, take it easy, folks. I'll have another chat with you later on tonight. Let me check this thing out on shortwave and see how it works out. Until then, this is the beast in all our glory. And the coil, this thing is very directive. Of course, if you turn it to the signal, the stronger it gets. So it certainly is working. Hey folks, thanks for watching. 7-3, and we'll chat to you later on this evening. All the best.
Crackle, hum, static fills the night. Voices jumping from satellite to satellite. Whispered secrets riding the wave. It's a treasure hunt for signals we crave.